It's raining again. So, a bit of a Brexit update. Tescos this week have reported that they've had to throw away lorry loads of food just due to the sheer fact that they haven't got the lorry drivers.
You're going to see businesses that can't survive because of the wages they're having to pay and the increase, if they're able to get drivers at all. And and of course if they're not, that leads to vehicles being parked up, deliveries not made on time, and that's when you then see it having that knock-on effect to our shelves and what we buy. We've obviously had Brexit and the Eastern European and the European labour that's gone back home. So of course we've lost that access as well.
A climate where us Western countries waste so much food on a daily basis anyway, to have this is just, it's criminal. It's disgusting. And people will say, well, how come the shelves are full? I go down the supermarket, the shelves are full. Well, it's a subject I understand. I worked retail for 15 years, and anyone that goes around the supermarkets with a retail eye will notice what's actually going on. Yeah, the shelves are full, but with what? When you haven't got certain products in as a retail store, you don't leave empty shelves. You can't sell anything from an empty shelves. You fill it. So you fill it with whatever you can. And if you walk around the supermarkets with a retail eye, you'll actually see this. And on the road, I'd like to introduce Van Man Reports. Right, here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about here. Look. So someone that doesn't know retail probably wouldn't notice it, but you've got 3 sections to this crappy microwave rice, and then 1 small section just for normal rice. That's called packing the shelves with whatever crap you got. And it's the same here in the fruit aisle. Look, you want to get some fruit? You got the choice of bananas or oranges. It's full, the place is full, but you got bananas or oranges. That's your choices. There you go, some expert investigation journalism there from Van Man. But as you can see from the video, they'll just fill it with whatever crap they have. That's retail, that's what you do. That's what I used to have to do. We had shortages of some products, we just filled it. And that perfect example with the rice there, a whole aisle, 3 segments of that aisle dedicated to just that crappy £1 microwave rice, and literally 2 shelves to just normal bulk packet rice. So to the normal eye, you probably wouldn't notice. And I don't know if any of you guys in the UK have experienced the same thing, but I'm sure the last few times I've done my supermarket shopping, it's more. I think they're just doing that thing where they're just maybe increasing the products by a couple of pence, so you don't really notice, but across the board it's way more expensive. I haven't got any receipts or anything from like last year to really compare any of the prices, but I'm certain they're going up. I'm certain they are.
But of course there are going to be other impacts as well. If we leave on a no-deal basis, there will be tariffs, and those tariffs can be quite substantial on some food items. So those almost inevitably are going to lead to higher prices. And I think if we go out on a no-deal basis, that's unavoidable.
Yeah, I done a video a few videos back saying that we really need to stop this division on Brexit in this country and fighting between ourselves. I still believe in that, but it doesn't mean I won't keep pointing out the flaws of Brexit, because the penny has to drop at some point with Brexit supporters. And I think that the only way to do it is just them, they don't have to admit that Brexit was a bad idea if they don't want to, but they can certainly admit that the government's handling of it is terrible and it's not the Brexit that they voted for, and then maybe they might be on board to support a pro-European government in the future. Who knows? But it's got to happen. I mean, we're halfway through the year now, and just every month something new comes out. It's not really reported on that much, but it's there. We earlier in the year we had the fishermen, we have the farmers now. The common theme recently seems to be lack of labour, and the farmers are getting a lack of labour, but also the hospitality industry, restaurants are complaining about a lack of labour. Even our good friend Weatherspoon's owner is complaining about a lack of labour. And Jesus Christ, in an industry that's been hit so hard over the last year, the last thing they need is further problems with a lack of labour. Now they're allowed to open again. And you know, the argument on the other side is, well, you know, these businesses, they should pay more and have British workers, but it's not about that. It's just the sheer volume of workers. We just don't have enough British workers, even if they do want to work the farms and if they do get paid more. I mean, we just don't have the volume of workers in this country to be able to fill all the jobs. And if you want to pay them more, I mean, if you need to get someone to wait your tables in a restaurant, you'd have to entice them from a city office job. You probably have to pay them like 40 grand a year to entice them to come and wait your tables. It's a stupid argument. And I noticed it in my business. I run a second-hand furniture business, and the difference in profit that I've had this June 2021 compared to June 2020 is down, and it has to be down to Brexit, because this is nothing to do with the pandemic. June 2020 and June 2021, both in the pandemic, nothing to do with COVID. The only lying difference is Brexit. And a lot of my customers are European nationals that have moved over to Brighton. We have loads in Brighton. Big cities in England, London, Manchester. We get a lot of Europeans come over here to work, but also just experience the culture, you know, get a better grasp of English and all this sort of thing. And I had a lot of customers from the EU come over here. They move, they need furniture, they're moving quite a bit, maybe they want to move to London, maybe so a lot of customers, European nationals, and it's dropped significantly. And luckily I'm in a position where I have a large customer base other than those, so you know, I've gone from a very, very good June last year to an okay June this year, but I'm one of the lucky ones. You know, a lot of people have had their businesses destroyed by this year, but so many businesses are reliant on EU nationals and EU nationals working for them and selling to EU nationals. Anyway, I could just go on for hours, but I'll keep banging on about this stuff, and hopefully this year more and more people will start cottoning onto this. Like I say, if they can't admit that Brexit was a bad idea, at least they can admit that the government's handling of it and the Brexit that we're getting is terrible, and it would probably be better just to go back. Whether that's possible or not is a different matter. But anyway, as always, give me your thoughts. Keep it civil in the comment section. Sometimes it goes off a little bit. I always like to think of my comment section as a safe place for us all to share ideas and be civil with one another. If we disagree, that's fine, we can talk about it, but no nasty comments, please. Let's be civil. Okay, till next time.